Hello, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Roger. Hello.
And welcome to the Whispering Woods Reddit and Listener Story episode. I've got lots of stories, an array of stories, and I'll get straight into them. The first story is from Hujiro Hanma. Has anyone lived in a haunted house? Here's my story. It's long, but I hope you enjoy. So, I live with my stepmom, dad, little sister and brother. There's always been weird, unexplained noises, shadows, and the feeling of being watched here. But this takes the cake. It all started with just random noises and weird sounds, and progressively got worse. The first signs were shadows that you catch with the side of your eye and no one's there. Then weirder things, like hearing something climb up my bunk bed ladder. And my bed bouncing like someone hopped in. But today, when I got off work, there was only my little brother's truck at home. We have a loud stereo in our room and we jam it loud when no one is home. Anyway, he was the only one there, so I thought. So I get off work, see his truck, and think, oh, I guess he's home. But he wasn't. When I get close to the house, I could hear the stereo real loud, but couldn't make out the song. When I touched the door to open it, I could feel the door rattling from the base. As soon as I unlocked the door and opened it, it was dead silent and our room door was open. So I'm scared. At this point, I slowly walk to our room and I'm standing in the doorway. There was no one in there. I laugh and say, "Bro, this isn't funny. Where are you?" There was no answer, just silence. I then went to step in my room, and right when my foot picked up, my door slammed, pushing me into my room and on the floor. I get up real fast, open the door, and no one was there. I looked everywhere in the house, and there was no human in there. So I called my brother and asked, "Where are you hiding?" He says, "What are you talking about? I'm at church. I rode with Mum." I said, "Okay, I'll be there." Mind you, I hate church. No offence. I'm still thinking when I get there he's still going to be at home hiding. But nope. When I got there, I found him. And he could tell I was scared. He said, "What happened? I've never seen you like this." I told him, and he got white as a ghost, pun intended. He said, "Last night I heard a sound while you were asleep. I went to check it out and saw a little girl in the living room watching the TV that was just fuzz. When she saw me, she smiled real creepy and ran into a wall and disappeared. So now I have no idea what to do. Everyone in the house knows it's haunted, but it's a big house and we got it for cheap so we can't move. Anyway, that's my story of today. I know it was a long one, but I hope it entertained you, because it scares the heck out of me." Ooh, little girl ghosts aren't nice.
Well, especially with the
Watching TV?
watching TV with a wicked smile.
No, I can't, because I can see that in my mind's
Yeah.
eye. That one of those grins, you know.
Definitely.
I can see that smile. When Maisie used to stay a lot round her friend's house when they were teens, you know. Even on the school night, she'd sleep over there, and there was apparently a little girl in the haunted cottage,
Right.
and they would try and communicate all the time and take videos and all sorts. But yeah, the little girl thing is it's the same as, and I'm not being biased here. I get the same feeling from a little boy.
Mm.
I think it's because you hear so much that it's like demonic entities in disguise, and I don't subscribe to that necessarily, but I still don't want one in my bedroom.
No, not walking through walls.
Yeah. Come down. You can watch telly downstairs. As long as I don't see you. Telly's all yours. I'm fine with that. But when Maisie's boyfriend, Willow's dad, and, they were staying here when Maisie was pregnant. Maisie's my daughter. And he was freaked out from this of this living room.
Mm.
And I don't feel anything in this living room. The one place I do feel something, and not anymore, used to be when it was Maisie's room, which is now Toby's room. That room. And I think it's because I associated it with when John died, which is my daughter's dad. And it was all of a sudden. And because she said, people kept saying that thing, don't worry, he's always watching over you. And she was so freaked out because she just imagined him crouched in the corner watching her. Because you've got to be careful what you say to kids, haven't you? She was 12. And because he died of, he was an alcoholic, had no weight to him. He was yellow because of jaundice, liver. And she was petrified. And that fear grew with me as well. So we used to cleanse that room all the time. Cleanse it. Because it was probably the feeling of that night that stuck around for both of us,
Yeah, definitely.
But eventually...
Plus, I was going to say, aside from that, it's by external walls to external walls as well.
Yeah.
It feels colder anyway.
So the wind really hits it, and it does feel cold in there a lot of the time. And it kind of rattles, that room. Now, if you've got a rattling bedroom, you know what I mean.
Depends why it's rattling.
It just kind of rattles with the wind because it's always windy up here, isn't it?
It is.
It's always windy up here because we live on top of a hill. It's always windy, and it hits Toby's room with both barrels,
all directions.
Yeah, and Maisie could never sleep with it, but he's fine. Toby, he sleeps fine, I think.
Yeah, it can be comforting as well, isn't it?
I love it.
Yeah,
I'd be happy in that room, but it's far too small. I'm not going in there. And no, we're not swapping, Toby.
I'm just getting distracted by rattling in the background. If you can hear Luna's
snoring. But the microphone won't pick that up. She's fine. I'm saying that. I hope it doesn't.
Because she's relatively quiet.
Yeah, well, she's not quiet, but it's an old man snoring she's got. She really has.
Yes,
That's why she's not allowed to sleep upstairs. She keeps the rest of us awake. Right, let's get on to the next story. And this story is from Nuaz Rabbi. Did I just witness a glitch in reality? I'm still shaking as I type this. It's midnight on December the 28th. And what happened a few hours ago has me questioning the boundary between our world and the unseen. Before I get into it, I need to clarify a few things. I'm completely sober. I don't do drugs. And alcohol is entirely out of the question for me since I'm Muslim. My only guilty pleasure is my love for movies. I'm a big believer in owning my own media. I'm not a fan of the streaming era. I prefer to download my movies and series so I can watch them on my own terms. It's a habit that actually makes this story a lot scarier. I'm also not here to push my religion on anyone. I'm sharing this for context because it explains why this rattled me so much. I'm Muslim. In our traditional doctrine, we don't really buy into the multiverse or paranormal realities theories. To us, those are philosophical ideas, not reality. We believe in one universe shared by humans and jinn that has free will. And jinn, which are entities made of smokeless fire. There we have a belief that since jinn are essentially plasma or energy, they can interact with electricity and digital screens, using them almost like mirrors or portals. The experience. I was doing a rerun of Harry Potter, as in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I was lying down, headphones on, in that relaxed, slightly drowsy state where you're just about to drift off, but still following the plot. At exactly 1:23:36, when Hermione lowered her wand in Malfoy's face, the screen did something it shouldn't be physically capable of doing. At exactly 1:23:36, the screen turned into a horror movie. Holes opened up in Hermione's face, and literal worms started crawling out of her skin. Her tongue dropped and started moaning. It was a vivid, trypophobic nightmare. I wasn't drowsy enough to be dreaming, as I was conscious enough to react instantly. I hit pause. The screen froze on that horrific image. While the movie was paused, I hit Windows plus Shift plus S to grab a screenshot, like in a flash. The part that defies logic. As I was looking at the paused, worm-infested face, the movie started changing back to normal while the player was still on pause. It was like an overlay was being pulled away, or the movie was healing itself in real time. And a note, it was just her face, nothing else. I immediately checked the screenshot I had just taken. The screenshot showed a perfectly normal, beautiful Hermione. No holes, no worms, with tongue. Then I checked the file's MD5 hash. If the file itself had been altered or corrupted, the hash would have changed, but it hadn't. The data was clean. The setup. It's December and very cold here, and my PC is running an RTX 4060. For the tech literate out there, you know this card is ice cold and power efficient. My GPU was sitting at a chill 32 Celsius with a hotspot of 38. I never saw it come close to 70 degrees, never, while pushing it to max. There's zero chance of hardware overheating or graphical artifacts. This wasn't a GPU glitch. Had them before. They are more like pixelated errors on the screen. I'm not trying to convince anyone. I'm just a guy who saw a digital file transform into something grotesque and then wipe its own trail right in front of my own two eyes. I didn't think to screen record because it was too late to do so to capture the evidence, but I suspect a recording would have shown the same clean image the screenshot did. Has anyone else, especially those with a similar spiritual background, experienced tech being manipulated like this? I've seen IRL shadow figures and heard ghost footsteps in my village before, but this digital manipulation is a whole new level of frightening. I'd love to know if I'm alone in this, or if anyone else has seen their digital reality rewrite itself. Edit/update. Final update. I survived my first Reddit post without being bullied into oblivion. As a private loner, this was basically my personal Super Bowl of social interaction, and I'm genuinely surprised by the main character support you guys gave me. After reading all the comments and doing some research into the terms you guys provided, I'm settling on a 60-40 split. 60% of me accepts that the hypnagogic hallucination, I don't know if I've said that right, a software glitch in my brain, but 40% stays tied to my faith and the unseen, jinn. I've seen real-world horror, paranormal, before. I've woken up to earthquakes and even held a dying child during the July unrest here in Bangladesh. I know what petrified feels like, but this experience felt sinister in a way that those things didn't. I'm being genuinely honest when I say like that. Whether or not whatever happened, it is a glitch that I experienced. Forgive me if I'm not using Reddit perfectly yet. I'm still learning the ropes. I'm just happy I found a rational explanation and a community that didn't make me feel crazy. Thanks for the support, I mean it. I'm going to go back to being a loner now, but I'll do it with a lot more peace of mind. Oh, thank you so much.
You
go back to being a loner is the best way to be sometimes. Nothing wrong with a bit of lonely. But yeah, that is freaky. Because Hermione's just sweet, you know, she's innocent, she's very prefecty.
Yeah,
wholesome, completely opposite I was at school. No, exactly. Cool. And to have that juxtaposition is quite spooky. Yeah. And, like, you know, Harry Potter films, they do get darker as they go along, but they're not really scary.
No.
To have that when you're not expecting it is freaky. It's freaky.
And also the life experiences he's had.
Oh, I know, that was so sad. And to find that is a different level of darkness, you know?
Yeah, because that's real. He's in the moment with that, as awful as it is.
Yeah.
But I guess the djinn can use any spirit.
Yeah. Electrical.
There's no reason why they can't come to TV. Right? Yeah. And what was your films? Poltergeist, was it? Where she comes to TV?
Yeah, they're here. I love that film. It's a great film. But it was the second one that petrified me and my sisters. With the priesty man.
Oh.
Do you remember him? He was just, God is in his holy temple. And then we used to sing that each other just to scare each other.
That would be scary, you singing it.
Oh, yes. Yeah, great film. Yeah, they don't make them like they used to. Or whether it's just because I've watched so many now, I don't really get scared.
They don't have to be all singing or dancing effects to be scary.
No.
I think a lot of films concentrate on that more than the story.
Yeah.
The old stories still stand up. They're just genuinely scary.
I do love I have different kind of genres of horror for different occasions. You know? So like when it comes into summer, I kind of go more for the folk horror. Yeah. You know, I have different horror for different times of the year.
Horses for courses.
Yeah, because there's so much out there. I mean, the folk horror is my favourite, and I do like religious horror as well. Love it. Right, anyway. Let's see what we got next. And this next story is by Gay Salty. Thank you so much for letting us share your story. Something is walking around my house at night and mimicking noises of our phones and voices. That sounds spooky before we even start.
Ooh.
Hi, I'm from northern Middle Tennessee, basically in Kentucky. My house is new and in the middle of nowhere, so we get lots of animals around here. We don't normally lock our cars and house because nobody's coming all the way out here to break in. Stupid, I know. Recently, my parents have started locking and deadbolting the doors without telling me why, and they keep shining a flashlight into the backyard when they hear stuff during the evening. Now, I may be paranoid or sleep deprived. I've been having nightmares, so I haven't gotten good sleep, waking up most nights at 3 to 4 a.m, no matter when I go to bed. But I've started hearing something outside when I wake up. The back of our house has an open porch area downstairs that has stairs to lead up to the second floor, where you can go inside through a door. My window faces this porch and a bluff in the backyard. I've been hearing something move through the leaves along the bluff, but when I peek through my window to see what it is, there's nothing there. It sounded like deer at first, but they never come close to our house because of our cars and our dog. And now it's starting to make weird noises. I heard my mum's cough. She's not outside because she gets up at 6 a.m. and she's never up at this time. My stepdad's ringtone, even though he keeps his phone with him in their room. And I swear to God, I've even heard my own voice calling my dog's name. It's been happening for about 2 weeks now, and I'm getting nervous. I don't like to talk to my parents about stuff like this because they just say I'm worrying too much. But this is beyond strange. I guess I'm looking for advice on what to do or to get this off my chest. I don't know. Update. I talked to my mum this morning and she said there's no reason they're locking the doors. They just wanted to start doing that. I also asked about hearing her voice and my stepdad's phone, but she said she didn't think it meant anything. I'm going to look around close to the house later today, during daylight, to see if there's anything around. Ooh. I don't, I wouldn't want to go against what the mum is saying, but it does sound like they're locking the door all of a sudden for a reason.
Yeah,
to me.
I'd certainly be worried. I mean, it's all very well saying nothing to worry about, but
yeah,
if you're hearing that outside,
you wouldn't want to frighten your child, so you would tell porkies, wouldn't you? I would. I'd be like, oh no, it's fine,
it's
fine. And then I'll be
voice and
yeah, scary.
And phone and your own voice as well.
Oh, that's one of the worst ones. Imagine I could hear myself calling Luna. Oh,
it'd be strange.
No, it'd be terrifying. Not strange, terrifying.
But yeah, so what do you reckon?
Mimic. A mimic. There are things that they call mimic, they're like creatures, and they can mimic all sorts.
Right.
And they do it to lure you outside.
Okay.
So they will pretend to be your parents, anything really. Because they can just morph into something. They can kind of copy, but sometimes they get things just a little bit wrong.
Right.
And that's what makes you think, that's not my mum. But there is something about pretending to be a parent that really gets to me, because generally in life, your parents are the people you trust the most. And so it preys on that kind of weakness. Not that it's a weakness, but it preys on that, doesn't it? To mimic your parents, or say your child's voice. Yeah,
something that you're more likely to respond to.
Yeah. It's like, wasn't there a serial killer who used to do baby crying outside or something?
I don't know.
Yeah, there was, I'm sure, and it would play a tape recording or something of a baby crying to get the women to go out. Yeah, I know. And it reminds me of that kind of tricking, which is devilish. And
to even do that.
I don't think they do.
Right.
Not traditionally,
right.
I don't think.
Shapeshifters generally.
Yeah, shapeshifters. I think generally, in this day and age of the paranormal, I think it's mimics that are known for that kind of behaviour. So, yeah.
Evil. So they are nasty.
Oh, yeah. They wouldn't be on here if they weren't, because we only like the nasty ones.
Does he say going out in daytime, though? Have a look around?
I should think so.
Yeah.
Most nasty things come at night, don't they? But they do come in the day as well, to be fair. They do come in the day. So the next story is from File Senior 974. Thank you for letting us share your story.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. The Boy in the Bush. My story goes back to 1985 when I was 17 and living the life of a hippie. Yeah, I lived on a hippie commune for 2 years while trying to sort my life out. I lived on a commune that was located on the edge of a national park. This commune is located in the northern rivers of NSW and was pretty infamous in its day. Anyway, getting on with my ghost story. It was a wet Saturday. 3 of us, Darren, an Aboriginal bloke who was a pretty cool dude, Dave and me. We were bored and decided to take a walk in the bush just for the hell of it. It was great. We yahooed, sang, whistled. Okay, we didn't do any of those things, but we were happy enough to be outside, wandering along an old disused fire trail. By this time, my bladder was aching, so I told the other 2 to go on ahead while I pointed old Percy. I found a decent tree to pee against and was doing my business. The clouds were low and the rain was drizzling as I stood there feeling good, when out of the thin mist appeared this kid. Aged, I reckoned, 12. He was dressed rather oddly, wearing a collarless shirt, shorts that were held up by braces, and bare feet. His hair was short. In fact, it looked as if his mum shoved a bowl on his head and trimmed around the rim. That was the thing back in the day, wasn't it? We had those cuts as well, looked like little boys. His face was pale. He stood there for a few seconds before turning around and walking back into the bush. I fumbled at my fly as I shouted for him to stop. Darren and Dave came running, thinking I was being bit by a snake or attacked by a goanna, or even worse, attacked by jumping ants. Mate, them things sting. I stood looking around and told the lads what I saw. They didn't believe me, saying I must have imagined it. I didn't. That kid was real. Fast forward a few days and we were in the pub. Dave blabbered about what I saw to one of the old locals who called me over. The old fella lived all his life in this town and came from an old timber-getting family. I reluctantly told him what I saw, and he looked at me strangely. I think I know who that kid might have been. Sorry? Might have been? A boy way back in 1924 went missing, the old fella said, and his body was never found. That kid, I believe who you saw, was my father's brother. I went back there again, but never saw that kid again. True story. That's disturbing me for some reason. I don't like it. It's giving me the heebie-jeebies. Give me the right Willis, that one.
Yeah, we had the right Willis, didn't he?
He did. He had the wee Willis. Yeah.
Yeah, well, unsettling, definitely. But the lad meant no harm, he just...
No, I don't think it did.
And ran off, didn't he?
But I don't know. There was just something about it that I didn't... It just creeped me out.
And how did the lad disappear?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
There, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's just because of Outback. I knew this is... Was it New South Wales, isn't it? Yeah. And the Outback, so in my mind's eye, it's just really desolate. And I know they've had a few serial killers out there, and I think it just makes me feel a bit like, oh, don't like it, you know.
Right.
And I'm sure it's beautiful and lovely, and I listen to too many podcasts. But yeah, I just think the vastness of it, because our little island sometimes feels massive, doesn't it? And it's not, you know.
No.
In comparison to other countries, and they are vast.
Yeah.
And I can't get my head around, like, you could get stuck on the moors, yeah? But you're not going to die, because, like, somebody's going to come along. It may be an hour.
Well, yeah, you say that, don't you?
Yeah, you could get lost on the moors.
It does happen, people have.
What I mean is, like, driving along, say your car breaks down, the likelihood is you're not going to die there.
Oh, no, sure.
Because somebody's going to come along.
Yeah.
And they're going to help.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe you can walk a bit and get a bit of signal. But in the larger countries, there is that desolate, those desolate places.
Oh, for hundreds and hundreds of miles, yeah.
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 And I think, to me, because that's kind of quite alien to me, there's just something about the vastness.
Yeah.
And it's like the same with the sea. That vastness, like when I'm in the sea, if I can't see land, it freaks me out. Don't like it at all. But that's enough about me and my fears, because there are many. And this last story is from Shreds Lead. Thank you so much for letting us share this story.
Thank you.
It's my favourite type as well, the black-eyed kids. I had an encounter at work that I can't really explain. I've always heard about the so-called black-eyed children before, mostly as urban legends, cryptids, or something paranormal, but I never thought much of it. I work overnight shifts. On the night of April the 14th, I was doing my shift change at around 2:47 a.m. While I was counting the register, the door chime suddenly went off. I looked up and saw the front door wide open, slowly closing on its own. When I looked outside, past the gas pumps near the air pump, I saw two kids, a boy and a girl, just standing there. The boy was wearing normal clothes, like a black t-shirt. The girl had on something that looked like a half-white, half-black dress. At first I was just confused. It was now about 2:50 a.m, and they hadn't moved at all. As I kept counting the money, I started feeling like something was wrong. I got this intense anxiety, and the hair on my arms literally felt like it was standing up with static. I walked to the front and said, "Hey guys, what are you doing out here alone?" They didn't respond. That's when the fear really hit me. After a moment, the girl, who seemed a year or two older, stepped off the curb and held out her hand. The boy took it and hopped down beside her, almost playfully. I tried again and said, "Come inside where it's warm." The second I said that, my whole body felt like it shut down. The fear was overwhelming, like I had just turned a corner and run into a bear. I have never felt that level of fear in my life. I practically dragged myself back inside using the door handle. As soon as I crossed the doorway, the fear eased up. I ran behind the counter as fast as I could. From there, I watched them walk toward the next curb, heading in the direction of the building around 3:05 a.m. But I never saw them actually come in or appear at the entrance. I've been off work since then, but I have to go back tonight, and I'm honestly terrified. I keep thinking about the fact that I invited them in. Nothing else has happened, but my cats have been acting strange at home, hissing at nothing when I'm alone. I even had my boss check the security cameras. They didn't show anything, and now everyone thinks I imagined it. I don't know what to think, but the whole experience left me shaken. Going back to work feels wrong somehow, and I can't shake the anxiety. Don't go back.
Don't go back. Not if it's black-eyed kids.
Don't ever invite them in.
No.
I love black-eyed kid stories. They just really freak me out. Oh. And not just the kid ones. The kid ones are scarier because there are some like with grown-ups and black eyes, and they're scary. But the kid ones, I love them. I love them, and they freak me out. Something crazy.
What in particular do you think it is?
I don't know. I think it's because I don't really know what they are. Are they aliens? Are they vampiric? Are they demonic? I don't know, and it could be all three.
I'm just like, yeah, because the Don't Look Now. That classic film.
I love that film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you realise that it's not a little girl.
I know.
Seeing running around.
I know. The reveal.
And it is, yeah. And it's just so scary. It's you got it in your mind's eye.
Yeah.
It's a child.
Yeah. A scary little child, maybe, but not what turned around. Because that really freaked me out when I first watched that. Because I was
same with
the
echo children that you think,
And I think as well, it's because, I keep going back to murder. But, when people describe it, that when somebody loses their mind as well, that their eyes turn dark.
Right.
And it's like a real thing that happens. I don't know what happens to the pigmentation, or whether it is the pupils just dilate to so large that it kind of gets rid of any colour. But you hear it described so often that people's eyes just went black and they knew they were no longer there. Do you know what I mean by that? And it's freaky.
But it is because they are the portals to your soul.
Yeah.
They say,
so you can't read black, can you? Because that's not anybody there.
With vampires, they're classically just black eyes, and all the more scarier.
Yeah.
For it.
And if you let them in, you've had it. That's fine. As long as they make me a vampire and don't just take all my blood and leave me there.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Toby and I have had this discussion. As long as you turn the whole family vampire, we're okay.
We're okay with that.
Yeah. And on that note, I think we'll leave it there.
Thank you very much for the story.
Yeah. It's a great story. Loved it. Got me going. I'm going to have to dig some more up.
And there's lots out there.
Yeah, there are.
Oh, brilliant.
Well, that's it from us today. We will join you again next week. Hope you enjoyed.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Take care, everyone.
Next week. Bye.
Bye.